Hello and thanks for tuning in again. It was an interesting week and of course there was a lot of stuff at work to do again. I also met with someone for a nice evening and also went to see a movie. Somewhere in between I also went into a restaurant where they have like XX large portions, and how that will combine and align with my plan to lose weight, we will find out in a few minutes. Until then, I say, as always, thanks for watching. This week it continued to be quite busy work-wise, and the good thing though is that the project that I'm working on with a dear colleague who makes it fun to just link in every day and see where we are standing. So that is a nice thing. Otherwise, this week I was walking around more than usual, I think around 27,000 steps or so. And on Tuesday I was walking along here just to film a little bit for work actually, because we created a small video where everyone was introducing themselves to the larger team. So I opted to film a little bit here. And on my way, I of course ran into our fox. But since I was filming the stuff for work in HD and not 4K and not with HDR, I'm quite curious to see how the footage will turn out if I include it into this video. I guess what you are seeing right now will be a little bit washed out regarding colors, but at least we see the fox again, even just in that way. In the evenings, when I'm not that busy, then I started to watch The Clone Wars, which is a computer-animated TV show which I have never seen before and which fills in the gaps between Star Wars Episode 2 and Episode 3. I also rewatched all 3 episodes to make sure that I understand everything correctly once the new show is starting, because it has all the backstory of Ahsoka Tano, which is the lead character in that new upcoming show. And also it might fill in some blanks I had when I watched The Mandalorian, because there we had characters like Bo-Katan, who also is very heavily featured in those animated shows. So after Clone Wars, I guess I will watch Star Wars Rebels, maybe The Bad Batch in between as well, I don't know, I will see. But I am catching up on that stuff that I have planned for so many years, and I am quite enjoying it right now. And then on Friday I met with Anya again, who you might remember from a few weeks ago when we went together to a movie and had dinner before. So this time we again went for dinner, but instead of a movie we decided to have a round of miniature golf, which was indoors and with 3D glasses and in black light. So that was quite interesting. So the whole course was painted by some artists in different ways, and it was a different kind of experience. It was boiling hot in there though, but it was fun to be there and we enjoyed ourselves. Then afterwards we went for some cocktails, and overall the whole day we spent like 7 hours together and I really enjoyed it. So I hope that will be happening next month again when she's in town again. And by the way, I had such a nice time that day that I completely forgot to take any footage. The only thing I actually filmed was us going into this XXL large restaurant where Anya ordered a T-bone steak and I had an extremely large rump steak, 600 grams, which, as you can imagine, came with a lot of fries, so much fries that I couldn't even finish them. The good thing was that day I only had 3 points used up, because I wanted to save all my points, my daily points, for our meeting in the evening. So I could afford to have that large steak, which only came down to 16 or 17 points because beef is quite lean. And I could even afford to have a large helping of fries. Of course, a large helping would be maybe a third of what they offered us, and I only ate like a third of it. But it still filled me up nicely, and I was wondering who would even be able to eat all of that. But yeah, it was a very nice evening, and I hope we will have another one like those in the near future as well. And afterwards, on my way home at the Yorkstraße U-Bahn station, I saw something that I have never seen before in Berlin, and I felt a little bit like living in New York. Although it was not rats, but mice, because there were so many mice running around in that place, it was crazy. And what you are seeing here is not even half of the action, because before I filmed, it was even crazier than this. And it also is kinda cute. I finished off the week with heading to a movie theater to see The Flash with my sister, and I have to say it was a very solid movie. I was expecting the worst with everything that was going on beforehand and everything that was told. I also had, on the other hand, a little bit of a higher expectation due to the fact that this might be the one that kicks off the whole revamped universe under James Gunn. I am not sure where it actually fell in the large scheme of things. I think it was somewhere in between, because I guess James Gunn took over while the movie was already halfway done. But yeah, I'm curious to see what this all will mean for the future of the franchise. Let's have a quick look at some of the more interesting stuff I had to eat this week. And one of that was some kind of a cheese-based snack, which was high in protein. And I have to say I was a little bit underwhelmed. It didn't taste that cheesy, and it didn't even have that less of a point count. So I guess I will not have those again. Something that I did enjoy very much though was the Sensational Bratwurst, which is from the same producers that also did the Sensational Burger, which I used to do the Sensational Whopper a few weeks ago. And I was interested in seeing how that plant-based version comes across. And I have to say it tasted quite close to an actual bratwurst. It was delicious. It had a similar structure. It was not quite there, but if you look for a replacement, go for it. Especially since it doesn't even have as much points that a real sausage would have. So this whole dish was only 16 points. You can't argue with that. And I also sampled the remaining 2 varieties of Slim Shake I had. You might remember those from a few weeks ago. I also bought those. And I didn't plan to have them regularly, but in between if I want to save points. And this week they came in quite nicely and quite helpful, because I used one, which only has 3 points, to substitute my meals before I met with Anya, and also before I went to the movies, where I could then dig into something else and enjoy myself in the evening a little bit more. Taste-wise, I have to say all 4 varieties are quite delicious, and they taste very similar to what they advertised that they would taste like. So I can't complain, and they also filled me up solidly so that I wasn't hungry until I actually went to the meeting and the movie. Okay, but now let's get to the weighing results. And I have to say I was quite surprised, because I was having that large steak and I was having a very proper helping of fries coming with that. I also was digging a little bit into my weekly points, but just like 2 or 3 points this week. I was walking more, so I was hoping that that would have an effect. And I have to say I was quite surprised, because at the end of a week I've lost 1.6 kilogram, which is like 3.5 pounds. And that is more than I have lost in quite a while over the span of a week. So it was a complete success in all regards. I had a very nice week work-wise, where I was kept busy even though it is a little bit stressful. I had a very nice meeting with Anya. I was seeing a nice movie, and I've lost a lot of weight. So I really enjoyed this week, and I can say it's a nice, successful one. I hope your week was the same. And of course, I wish you best of luck for next week as well. Hopefully everything that you will try to achieve next week will come to fruition. Stay healthy, enjoy yourself. I hope I see you when the next video drops next week. And until then, I say thank you and thanks for watching.